Dear friends and colleagues in Japan, my name is Dr. Sharon Hall and I'm the Chief Executive of the United Kingdom Tea and Infusions Association. I am honoured to be included in this Green Tea Conference 2022 at the World Tea Festival. I wish you and your colleagues a very successful event, and I hope that this leads to greater collaboration in the future. Today I'm going to give you an overview of the United Kingdom tea market, the tea drinking culture here in Britain, and talk about some opportunities for Japanese green tea. But first of all, let me give you an overview of the United Kingdom Tea Association. We've been around since the mid-1960s when we were known as the Tea Council, and slowly through the years we've merged with other associations, particularly with the Herbals Association, to now incorporate infusions as well as tea made from Camellia sinensis. Today we work in support of the sector and we're dedicated to promoting tea and infusions and their unique stories to consumers, the media and key stakeholders. Our role is to represent the tea and infusions industry in Britain and includes engagement with producing countries. We provide a platform for industry collaboration on non-competitive issues, and we advocate on issues that are important to our members. Through investment in research and development, we also help the industry to evolve, and this also means that we can input into policy-making decisions from an evidence-based position. A key activity for the association is the promotion of tea and infusions. Through a range of activities, we deliver consumer communications on tastes, hydration, varieties, origin, sustainability and health. And I'll talk a bit more about health later in this presentation. But first, a brief history of tea drinking in the United Kingdom. In 1658, we saw the first advertisement for tea from China on sale in a London coffee house. But it wasn't until the princess from Portugal, Catherine de Braganza, married King Charles II that tea actually became fashionable. She was a self-confessed tea addict and she bought a huge chest of tea with her from home. And it wasn't long before the fashionable people of London were following this trend and drinking tea themselves. The imposition of taxes in the 1600s made tea an unaffordable luxury for most people in Britain, until an Act of Parliament in 1784 reduced these taxes from 119% to just 12.5%, and the smuggling of tea no longer became profitable. By the 1900s, the consumption of tea by people in the UK had grown considerably, and the invention of the tea bag added convenience for the consumer. Today, over 85% of the tea that we drink in the United Kingdom is in a tea bag. On the 29th of June in 1998, the last tea auction was held in London, and today most tea is bought in auctions in origin countries. Another very important part of our tea drinking culture in the UK is afternoon tea. It's said that Anna, the 7th Duchess of Bedford, originated this idea because she used to get hungry between lunch and dinner. She conceived of the idea of having tea around 4 or 5 in the afternoon to ward off the hunger pangs that she felt. Sometime earlier, the Earl of Sandwich came up with the idea to put a filling between 2 slices of bread, and the sandwich was born. And together with tea drinking and the provision of cakes or other treats, this soon became an important part of social activity in the United Kingdom. And our Queen, Elizabeth II, also continues this long-established tradition of taking afternoon tea. Over the course of the year, in normal times, the Queen welcomes over 30,000 guests to the beautiful gardens at Buckingham Palace or to the palace at Holyrood House in Scotland. At each garden party, more than 27,000 cups of tea, 20,000 cakes and 20,000 sandwiches are consumed. These garden parties are an important way for the Queen to speak to a broad range of people from all walks of life, all of whom have made a positive impact on their community. Here we see that tea brings people together. Now to move on. The UK tea market was very healthy in 2021, and we estimate that we drink over 100 million cups of tea a day in the United Kingdom. That's over 36 billion cups a year. The UK retail market for tea and herbal infusions was worth well over 696 million in 2021. And despite some volume decline, black tea, sold in tea bags, was still by far the largest sector. However, we are seeing strong growth in herbal and fruit infusions and decaffeinated tea. In terms of our trade flows, the UK imports tea and herbal infusions from over 80 countries around the world, and these imports were worth 220 million in 2021. Imported bulk tea has value added through blending, quality control, packing, branding and marketing. Our exports of packed tea were worth over 98 million in 2021. And for the first time, the rest of the world exports overtook exports to the European Union. However, the Republic of Ireland, the Netherlands and France remain our top 3 export markets. In terms of the rest of the world, most of our tea is being exported to the United States of America and to Canada. Exports of packed tea back to Japan from the UK are also growing, and they're up from 2 million in 2020 to over 3.5 million in 2021. Looking at all of this in a bit more detail in terms of where we import our tea from, we imported black tea from just 65 countries in 2021, and this was worth over £201 million. This accounts for over 91% of the tea imported into the United Kingdom, and over 49% of that was actually imported from Kenya. If we moved to green tea and we focus on bulk green tea, this was imported from 27 countries in 2021 with a total value of 9.9 million. If we look at packed green tea, that was imported from 43 countries in 2021 with a value of just over 10 million. The combined value of green tea imports at 19.9 million, that's packed and bulk, is up almost 27% from 2018, when the value of imports was only at £15.7 million. China retains the top spot as the leading exporter of green tea to the United Kingdom, but you can see that Japan is in the top 3. And if we focus in on that green tea imports from Japan, what's very interesting is that while we've seen some volume decline, the actual value of these imports has increased significantly. And why are we seeing this growth in value? Well, market data suggests growth in green tea consumption is closely related to the health and well-being or self-care trend, which has really strengthened since the COVID pandemic. And it appears that UK consumers are prepared to pay more for premium green teas that have very interesting flavour experiences, but also offer potential health benefits. Green tea is one of the most popular choices for out-of-home consumption, and it's the second most popular choice in the workplace after black tea. UK consumers will pay more for matcha and green tea, and the frequency of consumption is increasing. The premiumisation of tea follows what we have observed for things like fine wines, specialty coffee, craft spirits and beer over the last decades. Engaging with the consumer and highlighting the many and varied types of tea available is a great opportunity to encourage this trend in retail. And as consumers have learned new brewing techniques at home during the pandemic, I think there is a great opportunity to expand this interest and get people to drink more premium tea. But there's some work to do before the offer of premium tea options in out-of-home space, in restaurants, in hotels, in cafes, etc., becomes the norm. And this represents a huge opportunity for the whole industry. In 2022, the UKTIA launched the first UK tea census. It told us that 74% of people in the UK like to drink black tea, with or without milk, and 40% drink tea several times a day. They told us that their morning cup of tea was their absolute favourite. Interestingly, 55% of those consumers also drink green tea, and 10% of them drink several cups of tea a day, and 40% of us are also drinking herbal and fruit infusions. So in summary, we're drinking a variety of hot beverages throughout our working day and through into the evening. What was interesting though is that whilst we are known as a nation of tea lovers, our knowledge of tea is actually pretty low. Most of those people that we surveyed were familiar with blends such as Earl Grey and English breakfast, but they knew little about black teas such as Darjeeling and Assam from India, and also teas such as Gyokuro from Japan or Longjing green tea from China, or the oolongs were just not very well known. So again, we see a huge opportunity to engage consumers, and we started this work back in 2021 when we launched our video podcasts for International Tea Day. And if you go to our YouTube channel at UK Talking Tea, you'll be able to see our episode on Gyokuro and matcha tea. Another interesting finding from the survey was the impact of tea drinking on our mood. The census revealed how the tea we drink is related to our mood, and UK consumers turn to tea in many different situations. Generally, as I've said, we're drinking black tea here in the UK, and this is what's known as the all-purpose pickup. No matter what mood we're in, we drink it when we're feeling lonely, nostalgic, sad, angry, or happy. Around a third of Brits also turn to things like chamomile infusions when they are feeling that they need to distress or to help their sleep. Nearly half of those surveyed told us that a cup of tea gets them going in the morning, and 1 in 5 say tea helps them face a difficult situation or conversation. So tea is playing a very important role in people's lives. Coming back to tea and health, this is a huge area of investment for the United Kingdom Tea and Infusions Association, and we fund the Independent Tea Advisory Panel, or TAP. This panel is made up of experts in nutrition, in chemistry, in herbal medicine, and also dental studies. The Tea Advisory Panel do reports for us on the benefits of tea and herbal infusions for human health. They also work with us to bust myths in the media and to promote tea. TAP studies are translated into consumer-friendly language by the influencer Poppy Loves. Poppy is a young and trendy mum living in London, and she talks through her social media channels about when and where she drinks tea and the benefits it has for her life. To quickly take you through some examples of TAP reports, this is the Brew Knew That report that we published in 2018. This focused on heart health, and it was a compendium of the most up-to-date research on the benefits of tea for our cardiovascular system. This was sent to journalists, and the associated media reached over 100 million people. And here is the research paper that report was based on. All TAP reports are based on peer-reviewed journal papers, which gives us the strong evidence base from which to create our communications. And as you can see from this example, it can result in really positive media headings about tea. Another report published in 2019 was on tea and sophrology. This looked at the benefits of tea for different zones of the body, how tea acts in the brain, the throat, the heart, the gut, how it helps us maintain our weight and keep positive bowel movements, also the positive effects of tea on our bones. It also positioned tea as a great accompaniment for exercise and to promote well-being. One of our most popular TAP reports has been the Tea and Gut Health report, Let's Drink to Great Gut Health. This is a very popular topic with the UK media, and it talked all about the impacts of green, black and oolong teas on the health of our guts, which, as we now know, really has positive impacts on our overall body health. And more recently, in 2021, one of our most successful reports to date was Tea and Wellness Through the Ages. This report talked about the benefits of tea for consumers as young as 4 and above, right through to old age. The media absolutely loved this report, and we got some fantastic media coverage on this, encouraging younger consumers to replace sugar-sweetened beverages with tea. This promotion of tea through looking at its health benefits has been a really effective strategy for us here in the United Kingdom. And what has been key to its success, as I've said, is that we base it on a strong evidence base, so on those peer-reviewed journal papers. Hand in hand with that, the Tea Advisory Panel has now a very positive and trusted reputation with the media. So we can use them to defend the category when we need to and to promote the category of tea. We intend to continue to build on the success that we have had so far, and we will do more work to promote the different types of teas available. Thank you for your kind attention. Here at the United Kingdom Tea and Infusions Association, we are committed to continuing the promotion of the health benefits of tea. However, we want to do more to educate on the stories of tea, on the types and tastes available. And here I see a huge opportunity for us to work together to develop communications about Japanese green tea and the regions where this is grown. Furthermore, I think there would be a lot of interest in learning more about Japanese tea drinking culture, particularly amongst younger consumers who are interested in exploring new types of tea to try. And of course, all of these activities could create the possibility of more exports of Japanese green tea to the United Kingdom. I look forward to exploring these possibilities with you in the future. And once again, I would like to wish you a very successful conference and some useful discussions. Thank you for your kind attention.